I thought I'd speak a little bit, if I can, about children and starseeds. So many of us are, and often I see it when I work with clients, we are already trained, we are primed. We're looking to clear away the baggage and the mosquito bites, clear away the baggage, and then allow who or what we are to come through. Right. So that's very different from perceiving ourselves as someone who needs to learn something. Often I find myself saying to people, to clients, please stop reading books, stop going to retreats, stop getting certificates and doing courses, because all of this clouds over who the person is or the gifts that the being has. I want who you are to come through, and I want you to create the void, the space, to facilitate a space so you can breathe, so you can communicate, so you can come here and do your work. So I have another way of coming at that. And this is a slower road, but a far more rewarding and purposeful and authentic road, is to find how you work. You know, to be you, to allow you to breathe and come through you, what your opinions are, what your senses are when you work with people or meet people or look at people or observe people, what you feel. Build up these muscles, allow that channel to open up, that you, capital Y, capital U, capital Y, is coming through. You are coming through more and more and more, seeing people, communicating with people. And that can be, you know, we have a world of people who want to be fucking light workers and healers and all this nonsense. But I mean, if you're sitting at a checkout in a supermarket, you're working with people all day long. You know, your energy, if you're integrating your impatience and frustration and anger and addictions and so on, as they line up, you're encountering them. You're handing them change, you're taking money from them, you're maybe packing their groceries, you're saying hello, you're doing whatever. Your energy is affecting these people. And this person is as important as the circus clown on Instagram with, you know, all their fucking affirmations and their trinkets and their nice, you know, spirituality clothes, and they have their pillows and cushions and the candles are burning in the photograph. And they're usually looking up, they're looking up to them, like as if they're just being enlightened in that moment. Like, where our energy is always affecting people. You don't need to be in the circus. You know, you don't need to wear that costume of energy healer, light worker, circus clown, whatever it may be. You're always working with people. There's no days off. There's no moments off, in all fairness. Like, the moments we think we can relax, you bump into, the phone rings, you bump into someone, something comes through. It's like, no, get off your arse, you know, fucking pay attention. So if you remember back, you know, in your younger years, say childhood years or teenage years, you will remember difficult times, you know, times where it was hard to be in this world. You didn't know who you are. You didn't know if you were safe. Maybe you didn't fit in your family. Maybe you didn't fit in school. Maybe it was a struggle. Maybe it was peer pressure. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you felt you had to do what other people did to try to fit in, whatever it may be. Childhood, teens, 20s, whatever, difficult relationships, like fucking finding out who we are. So now, if you have children, or if you're considering or about to have children, they're inheriting, is inheriting the right word? I think it is. They're inheriting anything you have not integrated and anything you have integrated. So any of the stuff that you've been avoiding, drinking on, little smoke here and there, porn, overwork, food, Netflix, fucking YouTube, Facebook, any of these things that you're using to medicate you, your lucky children have inherited or will inherit all that stuff that you've avoided. So your work ultimately, for a moment, if you'll join me in a moment of silence and just consider the difficulty that some of these children have. You know, their insecurity, their shyness, or their not knowing their place in the world. And they're also picking up on your ungroundedness. or your family or your partner or your other grandparents, whoever it may be, who are teacher. So they're picking up on this and go, this is fucking wild. They can't articulate that because they don't even know what the fuck is going on yet. But they're thinking on some energetic level, this is fucking wild. I don't really feel safe here. I don't really know what's going on here. I don't really know where I'm going. Now, part of you does not want to acknowledge that. It's painful. It's hard. It's easier to think, oh no, he or she is happy. No, 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 they're having a good life. Oh yeah, they go to school. They have friends. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So that's you kind of wallpapering over their discomfort. I guarantee you they have to, if they're human, they have their discomforts. Every child has, every human has. It's natural. If you're going to deny that, you're going to deny yourself growth. And worse still, you're going to deny your child the expansion and growth that they're here to provide to this planet. So your work is to acknowledge the discomfort within you. It's not to awaken them. Your role is, and if you were before me now, if you're watching on camera, put my both hands out, I'd grab the fucking collars of your shirt and I'd fucking shake you. And I'd look in your eye and say, it's not your fucking job to wake them up or heal them. Your fearful, terrified human ego wants them to have a perfect life and wants to get involved in making them what it thinks is a successful, happy being. Got some bad news for you. Your human ego has not generated a successful, happy human being for you. Perhaps your spirit has a role in improving your quality of life, but your human ego has not. So here's an alternative perspective or path. This is that you integrate your shit, you work on you. And if you've been sniffing around my account or any other accounts with people you want to work with and that you're afraid of, I'd say fucking jump, shit or get off the pot. I'd say do it. Go for it now. Make contact. It doesn't have to be with me, whoever, wherever you feel there's growth for you and is uncomfortable, I'd say fucking do it, because your own quality of life, your own awakening depends on going to these places. And importantly enough too, the awakening and shift of your children depends on you doing your work, going to these places, reaching out, making contact, sending the email, sending the message, whatever it may be. I fucking need to do this because instinctively this is my work. But the head is so noisy and loud that it will talk you out of, I'll do it next year. Gonna do it next year because I'm just gonna wait until after the weekend because I'm gonna buy this jacket and I really need it. And then when so if you have the courage and the balls and it's fucking time to work, well then go to those places. So starseeds, finally. These are primed beings who know, who are trained, who are fully trained and fully aware. And our work with them is to provide an energetic field in a sense that they can awaken. So they've chosen the family to be born into, parents, whether they're separated or together, it doesn't really matter. They've chosen to be born into this dynamic. They knew that there would be a separation or no separation or whatever it may be. But our role is to provide the field of frequency. If we don't provide that field of frequency, they don't activate. They don't wake up. Or they wait till the teenage years or their 20s. Maybe they'll be provided that field someplace else. They go to university. They meet friends. They fall in love. They get a girlfriend. The field is presented, hopefully 20s, 30s, some other time. And then they begin to activate. But by that stage, they've already suffered plenty of fucking trauma from this world. Drunken parties, drunken sex, peer pressure, corona flu circus, whatever it may be. They've absorbed all this shit. So now they're an awakening starseed, but they've got a fucking room full of trauma and shit that they have to integrate and work through. So if we can get them as young as possible, and if we can not touch them, not try to change them, don't get them to meditate, don't fucking teach them shadow work, don't do any of this. Integrate your field, ground yourself, center yourself. As I said in a previous video, it's about you being seen, allowing yourself to communicate, express yourself, allowing yourself to be seen, that as you move into this energy, these beings, these children shift. And I have plenty of examples of this, of clients I've worked with who have kids. And as they would do shadow work, the child changes. And it's not that they're changing the child. It's not that they're teaching the child meditation or shadow work or anything. As they integrate their shit, they become more centered. Their tone of voice changes. Their body language changes. Their pace during the day changes. Choices change. And the child picks up on this. Maybe not even consciously, but energetically, there's something different. The parent is different, behaving different, and hopefully continues to do the work and continues to change. And the frequency changes, and maybe the child opens up a little bit. So my role generally with women is to provide a frequency, a safe space in a sense, that this female being can be her. So as a male, for a male energy, a masculine energy, to provide a solid, reliable, trustworthy male frequency. I don't mean light and fluffy and everything you do is perfect. I don't mean the circus. I mean a fucking solid. If you're talking shite, I'll tell you you're talking shite. So to provide that solid, trustworthy, hopefully, foundation as best I can, which is not perfect. And then hopefully that female being that which is a hybrid. You are hybrids. You are part human and part alien, for want of a better word, but you are already trained and programmed. So as I can hold this space, hopefully, you can begin to allow the walls to fall down, settle, and allow her, whoever or whatever she is, to breathe and come through. So I don't work with your kids. You work with your kids. Your role is to provide the same thing. Work on you. Do your stuff. Provide that frequency, non-judgmental, whatever it may be. Allow them to come through and breathe and be themselves. And also keep in mind that they are far more advanced, spiritual, and awakened than you possibly will ever be, or you will be for a while. Sadly, what happens with spiritual people is they tend to think that they need to teach the child. All parents do this. They think the child is stupid or a blank page, and they have to teach the child. Now, it's coming from a well-meaning place. It's the parent wants the child to be successful, get a job, pay their bills, be happy, be healthy. Cool. But that then bleeds into the choices of the child or who the child is. It's the parent's ego wants the child to be spiritual or know what color the fucking ankle chakra is or any. It's all nonsense. You don't need to know any of these things. The most spiritual people have never read a fucking spiritual book. They don't know anything about chakras or crystals. They don't care about it. They don't know anything about it. You don't need to know any of this stuff. If anything, it's a distraction. The best people to work with are people who have A, either don't know anything about this stuff, or B, knew about it and just got so sick of it and bored of it and exhausted it that they wanted nothing more to do with it. They're the best clients I've had because then they're ready to work. They're not looking for a circus. They're not looking for distractions and information and shit. So your child is primed in the, I don't know what it's called regarding birth, in the bubble, in the womb, in the whatever it's called, is ready. But it needs the right climate, the right temperature, the right frequency that you as a parent who's around them a lot of the time and looks after them, you can provide. So you provide that, they will open up more. Some of these are, I've seen them because I know from clients I've worked with who sent me photographs of their kids or people I've met, who I've worked with and met their kids. Some of these are extremely sensitive and extremely advanced beings. They don't even know it because they're not conscious enough yet. Parent doesn't know it. But I'm sitting there looking at it and thinking, fucking hell, like, we got to do what we can to clear our stuff. That's our work here. Clear the way, take responsibility for what we're carrying, for what we're encountering and what's in the world. Don't point the finger and say, oh, it's over there. It's Donald Trump. It's the climate. It's vaccines. No, it's your stuff. Integrate your stuff and it will affect and awaken these beings. And it's a very important time now. So get off your arse and make a fucking effort. Stop putting things on. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to do it. But I just bought a book by fucking some Joey Jojo, the new spiritual guru. No, do some serious work and watch how you change and watch how your child changes and watch them awaken and blossom and step back. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. If you want to buy me a coffee, there's a link below. Come join us on Sundays for the Sunday Zoom session. It's my hair all over the place. What's left of it. Come join us on Sunday for the Sunday Zoom. I hope to see you. They're going great and be well.